All right, this is group one for the Glickman book. It's Janetta, Drew, and Tanya, and we are doing assignments 5 and 6 together combined tonight. So I'll read the prompt for assignment 5. It says, after reading the teacher description and situation of role play 9.1 on page 123, respond to the following prompt. As Marcus supervisor, construct a response that demonstrates your understanding of the collaborative continuum of behaviors. What will you say to Marcus? What will you do to assist him? And the role play is just Marcus has been teaching. I'm just going to do a little synopsis. He's been teaching art in a self-contained classroom, and he's been doing that. I think he did work for like 5 years at this school, Hopewell. And now the district, they have cut art altogether out of the school, I guess budgeting issues. But now the district also says you have to incorporate art across the elementary curriculum. So that's kind of the problem. And he has approached the supervisor, and he's got some ideas about integrating art with other content areas. And he just kind of wants to work with the supervisor to generate additional ideas. And to me, collaborative would be like the best thing to do because, I mean, the supervisor is not an art expert. And neither so much as Marcus. They probably have about equal amount of expertise in the area, but Marcus has been working on professional development. So, it's good to collaborate with Marcus, ask him his ideas. I think you sit down with him, and you generate ideas. You both talk about a plan, come up with solutions, and then follow the plan.
I think, Shanetta, you're right on point there. When I was reading this, since we're combining, the 5th and 6th assignment together, the 5th one's about collaborative behaviors, and the 6th one is about non-directive supervision, and they kind of parallel each other but veer off in different ways. I think collaborative behavior seems a little more two-sided. It almost seems like a school improvement team where you're coming up and sharing to come up with the best practice or best solution for the school. Whereas, as we'll get to soon, right, with non-directive behaviors, it's more of leading someone in the right direction, but not putting in your 2 cents, whereas this very much is working together. So I think that this called for the right decision to, this role play 9.1 with Marcus and everything is the right decision to use collaborative behaviors. It says on page 122 and 123, collaboration should be used in this example because both the teacher and the supervisor are going to be held accountable for showing results to someone else. It's likely going to be the parents or the school district representatives in this case. So it's really good to get on the same page.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I agree totally with what you guys said. I also, with mine, I put in that I would first ask Mark, thank Marcus really for what, he has already done, and also ask him what his needs were, and also to reaffirm to him that I would be behind him 100% in whatever he needs to make this happen. And also mention to him, as far as collaboration is concerned, him collaborating with some other teachers, coming together to brainstorm and get other ideas. And also, as far as collaboration is, I think would be great to bring in new ideas along with Marcus's idea, and just making sure everyone knew that it was a collaboration effort. And then looking at making sure they understand that I would be an active part in the decision-making process as well. And also making sure that I ask for understanding of, clarity on what, the suggestions that they make, and making sure that I understand those. And I would also incorporate someone maybe taking notes at the meeting that we would have, and then the entire group working together to create an action plan, and then presenting that to, the faculty, and, around the different districts, around the different schools within the district, and then have several meetings after that to make sure we look at what went well and what didn't go that well. So I think collaboration would be very helpful in trying to implement this across the district.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I think we all agree on that one. It does seem like a sit.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We're collaborating. We'll just move on to the next assignment, which was chapter 6. Like Drew said, it's like.
Well, sit tight there, Shanetta. I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm just to finish up the assignment 5, because it did say to craft a response, and I agree. I'm not going to say everything that Tanya said again, but I just want to reiterate that some good points you made is that asking if you want to go sit down and write things down rather than just verbalize it right there is a really good idea. So asking what your idea is to solve this, is that the way you see it? Meeting together to find an acceptable solution. Let's get a plan written down and a follow-up meeting. But you mentioned all those things, Tanya. So I guess what I was going to say is just that's exactly what I was going for. And then a question for reflection. Maybe it's because I'm new to this administrative game, but I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of instances where teachers know more than I know about a certain situation, especially if you go into a new school, like if you get hired at a new school. So I'm just wondering how you approach the situation differently if the teacher is indeed more knowledgeable than the supervisor regarding a topic for review. And I guess that's where it leads us right into how you're about to get into, number 6 here with this non-directive supervision, I guess.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And wait a minute, and I know, I'm sorry, and Drew, with like what you were just saying, I know, like for me, we have a new principal, we got one last year, the end of last year, and when he came in, it was like he didn't want to upset the apple cart, so he just took a minute to see what was going on, and he didn't really change a whole lot of things, but going into this school year, he changed a lot of things, not a lot, but he changed some things that, needed to be done. Like you were saying, going in fresh, what do you do?
That's pretty much the way you would have to approach it, I think, right? Like you're going into their PLTs, you're popping into the rooms, you're not rocking the boat, but you're seeing what is going to fit your vision, especially if you're the lead principal. If you're an AP, you're just kind of helping,
exactly
the vision. But in the case that you're talking about, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Then I guess we can move to assignment 6. And I went specifically what things I would say to Marcus and the other one, but I'm just going to attach it just for kind of time's sake. But I said the same things you guys said. We want to move towards a final action plan and write down
ideas. They're not very specific. The role play is good, but it's not so specific. So you kind of are just going to have broad terms like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's assignment 6. It's chapters 10 and 11. It says, after reading the teacher description and situation and role play 10.1 on page 133, respond to the following prompt. Respond to Martha role playing a non-directive supervisor. What might you say to Martha? What might you do? And in that role play, Martha is a very accomplished teacher. That's not it. She has won awards for teaching. She has provided professional development on technology at the district level. So she's very competent. She's an expert. Like Drew was saying, you have teacher leaders and teacher experts in their content area, and she is one. So Martha has requested a conference with her supervisor to discuss how she can make her demonstration lesson valuable, both to her students and to the teachers who will be observing. And what I had said is, yes, Martha needs to have a non-directive approach. I would say that I'd be happy to meet with you, discuss how you can make the demonstration lesson valuable to both your students and the teachers who will be observing. During the conference, I would follow the non-directive continuum of behaviors. So I would listen to her, clarify, then paraphrase my understanding of her message. I will say that I hear you want to make sure the students and teachers observing both benefit. Please share with me your ideas of the lesson you have now. After I listen to the lesson, I would say, I hear what you're saying. You're putting forth great effort and preparation. I'd ask her to think about the consequences of teaching the lessons. What are the teachers going to gain from this? What are the students going to gain from this? Are they both benefiting? And hopefully she would say yes. The teachers benefit because they're seeing how to teach a lesson. They're gaining information from her. We actually have this at my school. We have lab sites, and we do this actually at our school, and the principals ask for volunteers. And it's not always the best teachers or the instructional greatest teachers, but those who are willing to step forward to let somebody watch them. So, and it works out well. So after I led her to that, I would ask her to come up with, finalize a plan, but she has what she needs. My job is just kind of to guide her, so to say, I feel, to where she needs to be.
Okay. You want to go next, Drew? You want me to go?
You got it, Tanya.
Okay. What I put, let's see. I said I would first thank Martha for being such an outstanding teacher that works hard in incorporating technology within her lessons. Are y'all getting a bunch of feedback from me?
I think it's because you're logged on to two computers, because I see an actual image and then your name like usual.
Oh, you see me. It came on.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
if you get logged off the other one, you'll probably be good to go.
Okay, did it come on?
Yeah.
It went out again.
No, we still see you.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. What I said, I would, thank her for incorporating technology into her lessons, and how proud I am of her as far as stepping up, as far as demonstrating in her classroom. I need to cut this one off. Hold on now.
Yeah, or you could just mute it. Tanya, while you're figuring that out, do you want me to? Okay. Well, I'll just jump in and I don't know. The feedback seems to be real hard. Tanya, are you logged into two different devices?
Yeah.
I think she's muted.
I can't hear her. Yeah, she's muted her.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk if it's not too much feedback, and then I can redo it if it is.
Okay.
So with non-directive supervision, it's just her. You can go
There
ahead.
it is. Can you hear us, Sonia? I think you're muted.
Yeah, you're unmuted, or either the audio is not going on for you. Yeah. Tanya, I'm just going to jump in with mine and you troubleshoot the audio situation. Maybe get back in on the other one that you do. So with non-directive supervision, essentially the person here is a coach. I put a picture of somebody on a couch, like a counselor, right? So it's like a counselor session. So one person's listening, and that's the principal. But there's some issues with non-directed behavior. So as a top instructional leader in the building, you clearly got to that point by having strong viewpoints and database problem solving. And so by not interjecting your ideas, I wrote down that it may be detrimental to the overall direction of the school, especially if those individuals needing assistance with specific guidance are coming to you looking for it. So those are the issues I had with non-directed behavior. Of course, it can be a good thing in this situation when an administrator actually has less knowledge than the people with the issue. It's best to be a non-directive leader. Also, if the teacher leaders are extremely high functioning and you trust them and empower them further to use this technique. So I kind of am just mirroring what you said, but I'll just go through my role play here.
Okay.
I'll listen to Martha's issue. I say, I understand your issue. It's how to create a productive session for both groups, correct? Is there a particular thing that's bothering you most, perhaps a lack of resources or direction? And then we get a response. I follow that by saying, okay, continue on. And then comes the fifth paraphrase step. So I think you're saying that you wish for more tech resources in order to make this lesson more valuable for both parties. Is that right? You're just reiterating over and over and over again and trying to lead them in the correct decision. What can we do about this? Is there a teacher we can borrow tech resources from on your team? What solution do you think would work best? Would the teachers have an issue if there were not enough resources? This mirrors what you were saying, Shanetta, when you were talking about making sure that they understand that there could be consequences. You can't just jump into it. So making sure that we talk about that.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do to improve this situation? Are you going to ask Mr. Smith to borrow his iPad cart? How can I assist you in this process? So you didn't give her the idea, but you did offer assistance. And then step 9 would be time and actions. So what's the first step? How many devices do you plan on integrating into this lesson? Are you going to incorporate this into the agenda you send out to staff beforehand? And then you restate your plan. So to summarize and be clear, you're going to do the following. Blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
So Tanya, are you back? I see.
Yeah, the other one, since it was so much feedback, I couldn't on that computer. So you're not getting a lot of feedback on this one, are you?
None at all.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, you can hear my voice. I don't know. I can't. I'm gonna
Dr.
take.
Stebbin will just have a good chuckle about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna take this one to the tech tomorrow and see if she can do something with the camera, because I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm gonna just go through what I was saying. I'm not gonna do the role play per se all together like I wrote it out. But I said I would thank her, for excuse me, stepping up to the plate and letting her classroom be a demonstration room. I would ask her come up with the presentation to her class and to the other teachers. And also I would make sure that I listen for clarity, and also encourage her with what she's trying to do, and also reflect on what she's saying, so I can make sure that I understand I have everything clarified that I need to have. I would also make sure I have answered all of her questions or any hesitations that she may have. I would ask her if she thought anything that may go wrong with the technology lesson, or and how would she know if the students met their objective or not. I would also ask her if she would have some type of interaction or surveys for the teachers from Nelson, or any of the students after she's done with her lesson, so that we can have some type of feedback to go over, to make sure, how it went. I would also let her know whatever resources she needed. This should have been at the top, but whatever resources she needed, that I would be glad to have them for her. And after the demonstration, we would sit down and go over the things that she felt went well with the demonstration. And then I would congratulate her on a job well done and being a great leader.
That's good. I think that's good, adding in those last 2 steps.
Thank you.
Sounds good. All right.
All right, y'all. I think that's it.
Anything else? All right. Well, I'm going to stop recording. Try.